sobrang di ko pa mapaniwala. Maraming salamat sa suporta. At sana patuloy yung suporta niyo sa akin.
Shocking Sheikh Mansour kneels for Alex Eala, the $1 billion Ion dollar offer she refused in 20 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Eagle Line Tennis. If you believe you are aware of the world of tennis, if you think you've seen it all, the Grand Slams, the trophies, the prize money, you need to sit down for this because what we are about to reveal today isn't just news. It is an earthquake that has shattered the foundations of the sporting world. We are talking about a moment so shocking, so unprecedented that it has left billionaires terrified and the tennis elite utterly speechless. We are live from the heat of the Middle East, where the beaches of Abu Dhabi are changing not because of the wind, but due of a seismic event impacting the youthful Filipina sensation Alexandria. You know her as the rising star, the fighter who never gives up, the pride of the Philippines. But as of this morning, she is the woman who performed the inconceivable. We received reports that were confirmed by addressing insiders of a confidential gathering, a billionaire on his knees, a golden palace, and an offer of a contract that makes how much does Cristiano Ronaldo make? Change in your pocket. We're discussing $1 billion. And the response was a 20-second pause that exceeded the volume of any stadium applause in past. Pay attention because toward the end after watching this video, you'll see why there is more to Alex Eala than simply tennis. She is destined to become a legend. Let's get started. The scene. The world of tennis has arrived in the United Arab Emirates for the Mubadala Abu Dhabi Open. The mood is electric. The stadium is really crowded, mostly with Filipino rafters community that has transformed the complex into their idol's home arena. Alex the Sketch has been ripped apart by Eala. Only a few days ago, we witnessed her amazing perseverance in the face of her dearest buddy Zion Sonmez, followed by that breathtaking, improbable return to defeat Alexandra Sasnovich, from which she returned on April down to preserve match points in the final. The girl is burning. She's having fun with a spirit that cannot be purchased with money, but apparently, someone believed that money could purchase it. Exclusive leaks claim that out of the UAE's power corridors, the buzz around Eala isn't just about her forehand. It's about her marketability, her elegance, and her capacity to be the face of a new age. Come on in, Sheikh Mansour bin Zed Al Nahyan. We are discussing one among the most influential persons in the world sports, a man who owns Manchester City. Their wealth is almost infinite. According to accounts, following the observation of Ella's magnetic link with the crowd, the way she commands the court, the way her name is chanted by the supporters, the Sheikh determined that he didn't want her to when he wanted her to play in Abu Dhabi, Abu Dhabi. The story we have discovered describes a scene straight out of a movie. Following her dramatic qualifying for the quarterfinals, Eala was purportedly taken away, without going to the locker room, but to a very exclusive private Zed Sports City Complex's wing, a VIP enclave that exudes luxury. According to reports, the room was lined in velvet. The aroma of jasmine and oud filled the air. Sheikh Mansour himself was waiting for her. He wasn't seated on a throne, though. In an incident that has caused cultural shock both sports analysts and observers, according to witnesses, the Sheikh, overcome considering the idea of what IO stands for actually, for Asian tennis's future kneeled. Yes, you heard that right. A rich royal is kneeling. Then the proposal from Abu Dhabi arrived. We've seen the information that was released, and they're astounding. This was not a sponsorship agreement. It was an empire. Eala was successfully participated in the proposal, giving up her freedom to become a new rival's permanent queen tennis court that is solely located in Abu Dhabi. The figures are down $1 billion. Quick cash payment that exceeds Federer Nadal's career prize money along with Djokovic. Furthermore, $600 million annually for 10 years. Assured payout of $6 billion. But it didn't only focus on money. The benefits included intended to entice a budding celebrity. A customized private Boeing 787 Dreamliner with interiors coated in gold and a specialized medical room. Her own enormous the Alexandra Abu Dhabi Tennis Complex on a private island, An arena will be constructed. And the establishment of Abu Dhabi, the Diamond Tennis Championship, is a competition in which she would be the enduring star with a reward fund of $150 million. It was a proposal. She is the wealthiest female sportsperson in history, quickly overshadowing Serena Naomi Osaka, Williams, and all the others named in the book. Consider the strain. You're 20 years old. You have engaged in combat. From the ITF circuits all the way up, you have struggled with exhaustion from travel, injuries, and the tour's grind. And all of a sudden, in front of you is a blank check. It not only safeguards your future, but your great-grandchildren's future. Saying yes and staying is all that is required. Abu Dhabi. There was silence in the room. The sheikh waited. The group held their take a breath. For 5 minutes, there was no sound. 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 20 seconds, and so on. There was enough tension to choke on. Can you image the thoughts, viewers? Rushing through her mind? The lack of resources, she potentially lessened the authority she used. Then Alex Eala said something. She didn't yell. She remained calm. She stood erect, examined the billionaire in the eye, and provided a brief, serene, but proud response that has subsequently been shared, such as wildfire via the murmurs of the top tennis players. Although the precise transcript is still a well-kept secret of that according to insiders, her remarks were a variant of this terrible reality. My passion, Your Highness, is not for sale, and the flag of my nation is not a you can purchase a logo. I play for the past, not for gold. She left. She departed. $6 billion is up for grabs. This denial has caused a stir in the sport, since it supports everything we own. Observe this week on the court. Let's brings the tennis we play back to reality. Are actually watching in Abu at the moment. Dhabi. This account of the rejected contract offers the ideal setting to the way she took on an Alexandra Saskovich. Consider it. If she was playing for money, would she have fought back after falling behind 0-4 in the third set? When legs, you're down a double break. Searing, lungs screaming, and you are just a paid mercenary, you fold. You take the check and you go home. But Alex Eala didn't fold. She dug deep into a reservoir of courage that no billionaire can find. A match point was saved by her. She gruelingly worked her way back to the point, driven by Lean's opportunity Philippine from the bleachers. That return had nothing to do with a paycheck. It was concerning pride. It was about the integrity of the athletics. When she finally clinched that triumph in the tiebreak, the cheers of not everyone in the crowd was a billionaire asset. For a warrior, that is. This given the circumstances, her current run in the even more Mubala Abu Dhabi Open renowned. She will now have to deal with the Alexandrova Katerina in the quarterfinals. The stakes are really high, elevated. On paper, she is the underdog, but during our recent hearing, following her tale of choosing the easy route who would dare to claim unthinkable wealth, wager against her, she has made the difficult decision. Road. She has decided to follow the respect-earning real champion via tears and labor that cannot be purchased with oil revenue. The tennis player's response globe has been a combination of incredulity and awe. The use of social media is booming. Supporters are referring to her as the Iron Princess. Comments are swarming and claiming Eala has restored the soul of tennis. In a time where players are switching to competitors' leagues for enormous rewards and football players are relocating to the desert in order to retirement savings, a female 20-year-old from the Philippines remained steadfast. She reminded everybody of the splendor of hearing someone lift a Grand Slam trophy. Your country's anthem was played worldwide. Stage is invaluable. Additionally, let's not forget the story of the queen of the court. Even the chick, without her title, has an Abu Dhabi, effectively crowned herself this week. The Filipino population has thousands of people showed up. The vitality they bring is unparalleled. When she performs, it resembles a Davis Cup game. She isn't simply a player in their eyes. She represents of optimism, fortitude, and the notion that a Filipino is able to compete with the world's giants and not flinch. Now, to fully comprehend the scope of we must dive into what just transpired. More about Alex Eala's true identity and why this choice is so in line with her personality. This isn't just any spoiled athlete's act of defiance who has millions in the bank already. The young lady in question has snagged her journey from modest origins to the on the verge of becoming a tennis great. And each and every single step of that journey has been distinguished by sacrifice, determination, and an unshakable dedication to representing her country with honor. Alexandra Mgo was born on May 23, 2004 in Quezon City, Philippines. She grew up in a country where tennis is not the first sport that comes to mind. In the Philippines, basketball reigns supreme, followed by boxing and volleyball. Tennis facilities are sparse, coaching is expensive, and the infrastructure to develop world-class players simply doesn't exist in the same way it does in the United States, Europe, or Australia. But Alex's parents saw something special in their daughter. They saw a fire, a spirit of competition that couldn't be contained. At the age of 4, she was already swinging a racket, and by 6, she was participating in regional competitions. For her early development, a great deal of family sacrifice. Her father had to work multiple jobs to fund her training. Her mother became her first coach, her dietitian, her psychologist, and the greatest cheerleader combined. The family made the painful decision to send young Alex to Spain at the age 12 to receive instruction at the Rafa Nadal Academy in Majorca. Can you imagine? 12 years old, hardly a teenager, shipped off to a foreign country where she didn't speak the language, being separated from her relatives. It was all familiar, pals. Everything for the desire to pursue a career in player of tennis. The Academy of Rafa Nadal is no vacation camp. It's a pressure cooker designed to build champions out of raw ability. The training is rigorous. 6 to 8 hours a day on the court, followed by fitness work, mental conditioning, and video analysis. The competition is fierce. You are surrounded by the best young talents from throughout the world, all battling for the same goal. Lots of children shatter under that amount of strain. They receive homesick. They sustain injuries. They are incinerated. Out. Not Alexa, though. She flourished. She like a sponge. It soaked up everything. She acquired fluency in Spanish. She adapted to clay courts in Europe. She created a comprehensive game, strong ground motions, astute net play, and a mental fortitude that would develop into her signature. Her early career was nothing less than amazing. In 2020, she was the first Filipino to receive an award. When she won the Junior Grand Slam Singles Championship, won the Australian Open Girls Championship.
She didn't stop there, though.
She advanced to the finals of the 2021 French Open Girls competition, demonstrating that her achievement wasn't a coincidence. She also prevailed. The girls' doubles US Open Championship, demonstrating her flexibility. These weren't just wins, they were statements. They declared to the tennis world that the Philippines had produced a legitimate talent, someone who could compete with anyone, anyplace. However, here's where the story gets even more motivating. Even though she was successful at the junior level, the move to professional tennis has been tough. The women's tour is tough. The competition is relentless. The travel is exhausting. The injuries are inevitable. And for a player from a country without a strong tennis federation backing, without major sponsors lining up, without the financial cushion that players from wealthier nations enjoy, every event is a gamble. You pay your own travel, your own accommodation, your own coaching fees, and if you lose in the first round, you go home with nothing. You actually lose money. Alex has been grinding on the ITF circuit, the lower tier of professional tennis. If there is little reward money and the circumstances are frequently inferior to glamorous. We are discussing matches performed in little clubs with around 50 observing, remaining under budget lodgings, consuming inexpensive food to save money, while attempting to keep the both mental and physical health are necessary. To engage in top-tier competition. It's a world away from the pomp and splendor of Wimbledon or the US Open. It's a world of desolate airport terminals at 3 o'clock in the morning, of strained cramps and ice baths, hotel restrooms. I'm curious whether you made the appropriate decision by devoting your life to this cruel sport. Nevertheless, despite everything, Alex Eala has never grumbled. She has never been a lazy person.
Path.
She had the option to accept one of the several attractive opportunities to play exhibition games in Asia for short money. She might have turned into a social media influencer, profiting from her appearance and her motivational tale to make money without having to deal with the rigors of real competition. However, she didn't. She continued to work with her head down because money was never her goal. It was regarding demonstrating that a Filipina might attain the highest level of women's tennis. It was about motivating the upcoming generation of Filipino sportsmen. It was about creating her nation with pride. This backdrop is vitally important to comprehend why she declined the offer from the chick. For someone who has made numerous sacrifices, who has been away from her relatives who has borne the loneliness for years. Given the unpredictability of finances and the discomfort in the body, the notion of selling out, of foregoing the official tour in favor of a created circus that is motivated by money would be disparaging of anything that she and her family has battled for. That $1 billion the offer wasn't a chance. It was in temptation, an assessment of her personality, and she aced the test. Now, let's discuss the more general this story's ramifications for sports of tennis. The time of this purported offer is intriguing since it's made at one point, tennis, like many other sports, is experiencing a crisis of legitimacy. We've observed the emergence of exhibition events featuring big reward money, but no ranking points. We've seen retiring legends come returning for exhibition trips financed by Saudi Arabia. The sport has been shown to split between conventional competitions and new costly substitutes. The query at this is all really straightforward at its core. What is tennis actually about? Is it related to competition aimed in establishing her worth against the world's finest? Concerning the purity of athletics? Or is it simply amusement, a purchase item to the highest bidder, then? Alex Eala's choice is a clear response to that query. By leaving she confirmed that tennis is more expensive than more than amusement. It is a meritocracy. This is the location where your ranking is gained by successes rather than bought through agreements. Legends are found there, are created on Wimbledon's center court, not in arenas designed for private use. Participant. Her choice conveys a strong message for all upcoming future players. Remain loyal to the sport. Avoid taking shortcuts. The journey is where the glory lies, not the salary. Let's be honest here. The deal itself, as amazing as it sounds, was essentially defective. Consider regarding what it was actually requesting that she take action. Stop trying to outdo Swiatek, Goff, Rybakina, Sabalenka, and everyone else other world-class players. Give up. The opportunity to enter the grass at Wimbledon, Roland's clay court Jarrows. Let's go to the U.S. hard courts. Open. Stop hoping to hear that the national anthem of the Philippines was played after she receives a Grand Slam prize in return for what?
Cash.
Yes, a great deal of it, but also seclusion. She would end up in prison. Of her personal wealth. Always referred to as a victor, but as the girl who made the decision wealth over fame. I'm really pleased with the game, the way I played. Well, I believe she was a challenging opponent and, well, difficult circumstances. It's really hot outside, but I'm only very joyful. I think overachieving is a thing you understand, like they say, have huge dreams. I guess that we had the potential to. Alex, following a fantastic year the previous year, how does creating your primary feel? Melbourne's draw debut? It feels fantastic. I'm ecstatic. Well, unexpected. I'm thrilled. Could you please provide us with an update on how do you feel about your life?
Yes.
Yes, there is a small amount of discomfort, and experience the assistance particularly when suffering a loss or when the difficult times during the game. I believe it genuinely helps to cushion the blow. Yes, I am.